Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, FAA eases up on Boeing production restrictions. Flexjet lawsuit could cost Honeywell up to $1.1 billion. Textron restructures and chops e-aviation unit. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. FAA eases up on Boeing production restrictions. Boeing has been approved to churn out up to 42 MAX jets per month, giving it some leeway from a cap that was set early last year after a door panel blew off an Alaska Airlines flight mid-air. This comes just a month after the FAA partially restored the manufacturer's right to certify planes that roll off the line. The move follows months of inspections at Boeing's Renton, Washington facility, where the FAA verified that a modest 4-plane-per-month increase could be achieved without compromising safety. The production ceiling was one part of a wider clampdown on Boeing's manufacturing oversight after a series of high-profile safety lapses and quality control issues. Though the company rarely hit the 38 aircraft limit in 2024 due to thorough investigations and an 8-week machinist strike, it reached the threshold by mid-2025 and began seeking permission to build more. Boeing said it followed a disciplined process in coordination with FAA guidelines before even touching the subject of a bump-up. The FAA confirmed that the change does mean it will ease its presence at Boeing facilities. This development comes shortly after the agency restored Boeing's authority to conduct final safety inspections and issue airworthiness certificates for newly built MAX jets. This privilege was revoked in 2019 after 2 fatal crashes exposed flaws in the aircraft's automated control system and the company's safety culture. After the break, Bombardier Global 8000 records new top speed of Mach 0.95.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits. With more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
DirectFly USA proudly introduces the new Alto NG, a single-engine, 2-seat light sport aircraft for the North American market. This simple, all-metal aircraft design provides low-maintenance cost, easy, comfortable access, and responsive flight controls. Equipped with the Rotax 912 engine and a ballistic parachute, the Alto NG is reliable and safe. Learn more about the Alto NG at directflyusa.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Bombardier Global 8000 records new top speed Mach 0.95. The Bombardier Global 8000 is positioning itself to be the fastest civilian aircraft on the market since the Concorde, setting a new top speed of Mach 0.95. As long as the timeline does not veer off track, the jet will be entering service before the year's end. Eric Martel, Bombardier president and CEO, said, quote, "This accomplishment for Bombardier is reflective of the remarkable expertise of every employee that has worked on the development of this industry-leading business jet," end quote. Unidentified debris cracks cockpit window at 36,000 feet. A United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 was forced to make an unscheduled landing in Salt Lake City after its cockpit windshield suddenly cracked mid-flight, reportedly sending glass shards flying into the captain's arm. The incident occurred on October 16, 2025, during flight UA 1093 from Denver to LA. Windshield cracks themselves aren't especially rare in commercial aviation, with thermal stress, manufacturing defects, or pressure differences being common triggers. This case is drawing attention for a different reason: scorch marks. Photos shared online appear to show blackened edges around the damaged section. Daher establishes Brazilian ops for TBM and Kodiak aircraft. Daher Aircraft announced the establishment of its operations in Brazil, based in Sao Paulo, a major step in the company's strategy to support and expand its product lines of turboprop-powered TBM and Kodiak aircraft in Brazil and across Latin America. The base will provide support for business development and owner-operators of the TBM and Kodiak aircraft in service. Both turboprops offer modern and efficient solutions for businesses, regional transportation, and personal travel in the Brazilian market. Senators push ADS-B and safety reviews following fatal DCA crash. Following a January mid-air collision that left 67 people dead, U.S. Senators Maria Cantwell and Ted Cruz have proposed mandatory safety reviews and expanded requirements for aircraft position broadcasting software, known as ADS-B. The 42-page agreement targets both airline and military operations. Senator Cruz said, quote, "What happened at DCA on January 29th was a tragedy. 67 lives lost, and their families have had to endure an unfathomable amount of grief. We owe it to them and every traveling American to make sure another accident never happens again," end quote. That's it for today's Tripper on the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Flexjet lawsuit could cost Honeywell up to $1.1 billion. Flexjet filed a lawsuit against Honeywell in 2023 related to non-fulfillment of a mechanical services agreement the two companies entered into in 2018. Under the MSA, Honeywell was supposed to provide MRO services on several engine types used by Flexjet, but even from the beginning had challenges keeping up with the pace of those services. Honeywell faced part shortages in 2018 before COVID ever came on the scene, as it issued a service bulletin on defective bearings that created component shortages and delays. In addition to parts and component shortages, there was a lack of recruiting for next-gen skilled workers, as well as a constant barrage of negative media coverage regarding private aviation. In early 2023, about 60% of Flexjet's 271 aircraft, about 160, were equipped with Honeywell HTF engines. Flexjet says in its suit that its first 3 years of the MSA until 2021, Honeywell failed to meet the schedule but honored the terms of the agreement and paid Flexjet the $30,000 per day in liquidated damages for engines not returned on time. But things only got worse, and in November 2021, Honeywell asserted force majeure, citing COVID-related issues. However, Flexjet said discovery in the lawsuit revealed that Honeywell had problems keeping up with the schedule from the start, and that pointing the finger at the COVID pandemic was simply a pretext. And after these messages, Textron restructures and chops eAviation unit.
It's time to upgrade your power plant to the first FAA-certified clean sheet engine design in over 60 years. Delta Hawk's jet fuel-powered liquid-cooled turbocharged engine produces turbine performance at 40% better fuel efficiency of typical reciprocating engines, while also achieving exceptional reliability and significant reduction in cost of ownership. Reserve your engine package today at deltahawk.com.
I'm currently using the Hartsel Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartsel's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Textron restructures and chops eAviation unit. Textron has confirmed that it will be retiring its eAviation business unit, but only its name. Programs within the sector, including Pipistrel, the Nexus eVTOL, and various military technologies, seemingly remain alive and well under the company's other 5 divisions. The restructuring takes effect January 4th, 2026. Much of eAviation's portfolio, including Pipistrel's light electric aircraft, will be absorbed by Textron Aviation. The company says this move will allow those programs to, quote, leverage the development, manufacturing, and sales expertise, end quote, of its established general and business aviation arm. Textron's Nexus eVTOL will also transition to Textron Aviation, ensuring continued support for the high-profile program as it works through its flight test campaign. Meanwhile, eAviation's manned and unmanned military-related projects will shift to Textron Systems, which handles defense and government operations. Textron says this realignment will provide, quote, more direct access to the targeted customer base, end quote, for advanced defense technologies. Additional research and development work in flight control and air vehicle management systems will move under the corporate umbrella to support multiple business segments. Textron launched its eAviation division in 2022, following its acquisition of Slovenia-based Pipistrel, one of the industry's earliest producers of certified electric aircraft. Its poster child, the Velis Electro, is known as one of the first type-certified electric-powered aircraft, being approved for pilot training in day VFR in more than 30 countries. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching!